Trav is Wayne Goodsell. All right, well, I was surprised, to say the least. But yes, we have Porno Purim Friday. Tongue twister. The holiday of Purim is a Jewish one, but it's where did I see this? I should have looked it up first. Alright, well, whatever. We have the setting in the Persian Empire. I'm seeing here 486 to 465 BCE. I noticed Wikipedia doesn't use the correct terminology for the BC and AD, which should be CE and BCE. But Esther is the book in the Old Testament about a Jewish woman, Hebrew woman, technically, they say here. That's why I was trying to find one particular instance. Purim means lots, casting lots, fate, that type of thing. What? It says here, the books of Esther and Song of Songs are the only books in the Hebrew Bible that do not mention God. The name Esther is the goddess Ishtar. What do you mean it doesn't mention God? Mordecai, Marduk, the god, and the kings were also known as gods on earth. Who puts this in here? Oh my God. So yes, this is a Persian text that was put in the Hebrew Bible. As it has Persian gods, Ishtar, Marduk. They're technically Mesopotamian, so they existed prior to the Persian Empire, but the Persian Empire's tactic was to allow people to worship whatever religion they wanted to. Whether they wanted to adopt the Persian religion, that's up to them, but they allowed everybody the freedom of religion. So thus the Jews were granted to return to Israel and build their temple again, rebuild their temple. And so, Ishtar in Paleo-Hebrew, so exclusive information for you again, because I'm sure the other stuff you're like, what? It has the spelling of the Wajid I and the Dej pillar of Osiris, with the feminine, Egyptian feminine ending. This refers to her then as Isis. Aset in Egyptian. And the R at the end is the God symbol for the determinative, which Semitic puts their determinatives at the end, whereas Paleo-Hebrew puts them at the beginning. So that gives you an idea of the construction of Esther. It should be Rushed, something like that, if it were Paleo-Hebrew. And so, if you've ever heard Assyriologists talk about how Assyria and Mesopotamia primarily is the oldest culture in the world, you can say, liar, liar, pants on fire. As the Persian goddess got their name from Isis of Egypt. So, yeah, you can throw that in their face. Egypt is the oldest religion, and everybody else got their religion from the migrations out of Egypt. China, for example, their language is based upon the Egyptian writing. Dun, 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 dun. It's just more squared. The sun in Egyptian is a circle with a dot in the middle. In Chinese, it's a square with a dot in the middle. So there's some exclusive information just for you who chose to listen to this video hoping you'd see porn. What are you thinking? Haven't you learned from my other videos? Temple porn videos? I will show you pictures though. I think I already have. I'm going to put them at the beginning of the video. So, I'll first talk about Purim, give you a refresher course, and then get into the sign in the heaven for this weekend. Alrighty. And so, yeah, yeah, Vashti was a Ahasuerus orders the queen Vashti to display her beauty before the guests by coming before them wearing her crown. And nothing else. She refuses. You know, strong, confident woman. Infuriating the king, who on the advice of counselors removes her from her position as an example to all other women who might be emboldened to disobey their husbands. Again, Isis, in the sense of Geb and Nut, who were the parents. But yeah, this is Egyptian origin, just modified for the Persian mindset. The Jews have their version of Lilith and Adam from the Alphabet Ben Sira, a Jewish mystical text. Among these women is the Jewish orphan named Esther. And so, yeah, she was selected to be a part of the king's harem. Polygamy, who was raised by her cousin or uncle Mordecai, the god Marduk. And so, yeah, she's a little cutie hottie, so the king likes her, and she becomes the new queen. Ishtar, the goddess, which is Isis. Alright, so Brigham Young and Teresh Bigthan and Teresh. Let's see. Haman, that's the guy's name. Haman is the bad guy in the story. He wants everybody to bow down. Mordecai refuses to bow down to him. Haman is a viceroy, and he lets it go to his head. And so the god Marduk refuses. Oh, by the way, the temple in Babel of that's Marduk's temple. It's not of Babylon in the tower thing. Built much later. But anyway, I digress. So he refused to bow down, and so he plots to kill not just Mordecai, but all Jews in the empire. And so he builds a device. Was it a guillotine or some kind of, let's see. It's not saying what the device is. But, Esther finds out about it, Ishtar, and goes and pleases the king in his presence, and saves the Jews as a result. And Mordecai is exposed as going against the king's wishes, and so Haman goes against the king's wishes, and so Haman is then killed on the weapon that he himself built to murder the Jews. And thus comes the theme for the holiday celebrated by the Jews. And so the war tribunal that was held after World War II was a type of fulfillment, although lots of Jews were assassinated in World War II. But I'm sure that the Bible story of Esther and the holiday of Purim was deeply entrenched in their minds during all this time. And so that's the main theme of the story, is that when people wrongfully want you dead, like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints wants me assassinated for saying Joseph Smith is a translator. It's the holiday of Purim, the holy day, where we are reminded that we're supposed to be getting justice on those who have attacked us and sought our death, as it's supposed to turn back on them the same for which they themselves tried to assault and attack us. Let me go to Deuteronomy 19:19 real quick here, because this is laid out in the Torah, Deuteronomy 19, but it starts in verse 16. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, and obviously you don't know a false witness. He doesn't say, hey, I'm a false witness, he did it. It doesn't happen that way. It's through the course of the trial that you find out a false witness. Then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, this is the trial, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother. Wouldn't that be nice if we were able to do the same kind of punishment today when people make false accusations. And then verse 19. Then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. So, if it's a capital crime offense that the person is falsely witnessing against a person for, you get capital punishment instead. And so that's how it's supposed to work. So if you claim that somebody stole something from you when they didn't, you get punished for having stolen the item instead. Wouldn't it be such a wonderful judicial system if we would hold people accountable for lying, not just in court, but over the pulpits of General Conference, and inciting to insurrection, and inciting to violence of anybody who dares to molest and make afraid. Alright, we done with this? Let's bring out the porn. So, if you're unaware, these are the latter days, as mentioned in the biblical text and in Joseph Smith's Book of Mormon, as he repeated John's revelation, signs in the heavens, and nobody catches on that John has a specific date for going on right now, and they're in the Book of Mormon, which means right now, not at the time of some supposed false Messiah who failed to save the Jews in the Roman period. And everybody gets upset with me not understanding. And so there are planets in our sky. Do I need to be that detailed for you, or can I assume that you know certain things? I'm gonna get a comment saying, I don't understand, this doesn't make any sense. Alright, so the big boys are duking it out in the belly of the beast. Jupiter, Mercury, and Saturn. Mars is in Taurus, and Mars, as I've indicated to you, is Nelson. So this doesn't have to do with Nelson. Purim is for the religious people, and they were represented by Ishtar. And so, who is the planetary equivalent of the female Esther Ishtar? Isis. Venus. Venus is the girl. And guess where she is? Well, you've already seen it. She's at the crotch of Aquarius. Yeah, porn. Because it's just a planet, rather than a constellation, there's a certain technique, which I'm sure all of you know and I don't have to explain, right? Moving on. Aquarius, by the way, is the high priest symbol in Egyptian. And there she is at the crotch of the high priest. The kings in ancient days were also high priests. They were the religious leaders and they were the government leaders. So there is Ishtar at the crotch of the high priest. Now the next picture is the moon. It's a full moon the day after. Purim holidays all start at 6 p.m. in the evening. So Friday evening is the first day of Purim, or starting the first day of Purim. So in the night at around just before 2 a.m., the full moon is at its fullest. And yes, you'll notice the religion symbol is at the crotch of the government symbol of Leo, the lion constellation. Yep. Porn. But it just happens to coincide with Purim. This doesn't happen each and every single year. Purim being with the moon at the crotch of Leo, the lion, and Venus at the crotch of Aquarius. This is a unique sign in the heavens, just so that you understand that. So this is unique porn, a once in a lifetime experience. And yes, you'll be able to see it in the night sky, as the full moon will be shown in somewhere up there. I think it was over near the setting, if I remember correctly. I had to move it over to get it centered and then blow it up so I can then put the date and time right below it. So I'll do a little capture of the lion, and you won't see the full moon and the Isis constellation, Ishtar constellation of Virgo. She's already given birth to the man-child back in 2017, the first year of the reign of King Trump. Yeah, the beast. The MAGA beast. As the MAGA wear his sign in their foreheads with the baseball cap and his image on TV. Spewing forth tweets of his corruption. It's amazing how they knew all this. But yeah, like I've gone over, the enemy purposely are fulfilling biblical prophecy to destroy us. So yeah, there you have it. It really would be nice if something would happen. But it's just a sign. So I'm still waiting for the court to determine if I have a case still to defend against Amazon. I haven't heard from her. I would have at least expected an order to indicate that the case is closed. I have no idea. So I do not understand. Alrighty. That is that for This Is That. Yeah, there's nothing church-wise. We still have a month till conference. So, yeah, I don't know.